Hello, this training is for the Alamo College's new student orientation on Title IX and sexual assault prevention for community colleges. The mission of the Alamo Colleges is empowering our diverse communities for success. Our vision is the Alamo Colleges will be the best in the nation in student success and performance excellence. Our values are students first, respect for all, community engaged, collaboration, can-do spirit, and data informed. I want to highlight the Alamo College's value of respect for all because this is the value that most closely relates to what we're discussing today. When we say respect for all, we mean respect for all. Mutual respect for you, your fellow students, for your instructors, college employees, and the respect you have for yourself. State law and Alamo College's policy and procedure require each new entering undergraduate student and transfer undergraduate student to attend training on sexual harassment, sexual assault, dating violence, and stalking during their first semester at one of the Alamo Colleges. This presentation is an introduction to the law, Alamo College's policy and procedures, resources and prevention tips, as well as an overview of the training provided to all students. The Senate Bill 212 and House Bill 1735 were passed into Texas state law and effective January 2020. The Texas Education Code requires colleges to provide training to new undergraduate and transfer students, develop prevention and outreach programs, and requires that all employees promptly report to the institution's Title IX coordinator or deputy coordinator the following: information regarding sexual harassment, sexual assault, dating violence, or stalking committed against a student or employee, observations witnessed or information received while in the course and scope of their employment, that the employee reasonably believes constitutes an incident of sexual harassment, sexual assault, dating violence, or stalking committed by or against a student who was enrolled at the institution at the time of the incident or an employee employed by the institution at the time of the incident. The policy and procedures can be found on the Alamo Cares website, each college website, and in the student handbook. All students are expected to familiarize themselves with all Alamo College's policies and procedures. The board policy H.1.1 is our policy on equal education and employee opportunities, but the areas that cover Title IX are emphasized here and include sex, pregnancy, sexual orientation, gender, transgender status, gender identity, gender expression, and domestic violence victim status. Policy H.1.1, Equal Education and Employment Opportunities states, Alamo Colleges will also not discriminate against persons who have opposed discrimination or participated in any complaint process on campus or before a government agency. Students and employees are required to comply with this policy. Retaliation in any form for having brought a complaint or report of discrimination or harassment based on any protected criteria, including sex and gender, is expressly prohibited. We know we can't prevent everything, but we can offer some strategies that may help increase your awareness and the way you think about prevention. Know and share your limits or boundaries with friends and partners as soon as possible. If you're uncomfortable, speak up and share what you're thinking. Consent should be an enthusiastic yes. Clearly and firmly articulate consent or a lack of consent. If you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, remove yourself if you can. Ask for help when you need it. Ask for someone's help nearby or call someone. And always check in with your friends and ask them to check in with you. Look out for one another. All employees who are not confidential employees are required to report any instances of sexual harassment, sexual assault, dating violence, or stalking. Employees who fail to report could be subject to disciplinary action. However, students who wish to report confidentially may report to a personal counselor on campus. Personal counselors will not disclose a student's identity, but will only report the type of incident for reporting requirements. Except as otherwise provided by the Title IX regulations and this procedure, the college district and colleges will keep confidential the identity of any individual who has made a report or complaint of sexual discrimination, including any individual who has made a report or filed a formal complaint of sexual harassment, any complainant, any individual who has been reported to be the perpetrator of sex discrimination, any respondent, and any witness except as may be permitted or required by FERPA statute or FERPA regulations, or as required by law, or to carry out the purposes of the Title IX regulations, including the conduct of an investigation, hearing, or judicial proceeding arising thereunder. All reports are treated with respect and remain private within the Title IX process, according to our Board Policy and Procedure H1.2 Civil Rights Discrimination, Harassment, and Retaliation Policy, and H.1.2.1 Civil Rights Complaints and Resolution Procedure. All students and employees who report a Title IX violation can expect a quick, fair, and equitable response. All reports are taken seriously. If you have experienced sexual harassment, sexual assault, dating violence, or stalking, make sure to go to a safe location as soon as possible. Make sure to ask for help and seek medical attention if you need it. If there is physical evidence to be preserved, a sexual assault nurse examiner can collect forensic evidence and retain any clothing, bedding, or other items from the scene that could be helpful in the long run. What can you do if you or someone you know has experienced an incident that falls under Title IX? You may submit a report through the Alamo Cares website, talk to your college representative, contact campus police, or choose not to report. It is your right to choose whether to report the crime to law enforcement, be assisted by your college in reporting the crime to law enforcement, or decline to report the crime to law enforcement. It is up to you to determine how you want to respond. It is important to provide sufficient information when reporting incidents. You may contact your Title IX representative for your college or the Alamo Colleges Police Department at 210-485-0099. No matter the way you choose to report, you are entitled to a prompt and equitable response to your report, and you are not required to report your incident to your college, but may choose to do so. Remember, here at the Alamo Colleges, we want to help you be successful in your educational journey, personally and academically. If you are going through something, you don't have to do it alone. We have free personal counseling at all 5 of our campuses and a dedicated Title IX person to help support you. All this information and more can be found on the Alamo Cares website. The Sexual Assault Prevention for Community Colleges, or SAPCC, is an online program addressing the critical issues of sexual assault, relationship violence, stalking, and sexual harassment. This training gives you real-life examples through interactive modules and videos. This training takes you through various scenarios and shares tips on how to respond if you find yourself or another in a certain situation. You have access to this training through your alamo.edu email address, where specific instructions have been sent to you. When you log into the training, there will be a welcome screen, a pre-survey, and a quiz for you to complete. This is not the end of the training. The survey and quiz results are anonymous. Check the menu to ensure you complete sections 1 through 6. The entire training will take approximately 45 minutes to complete. At the end of the training, you will reach the conclusion page and have an option to receive a certificate of completion. The SAPCC training module will introduce the course and cover the following sections: values, identities, and relationships, understanding our identities, sexual harassment and stalking, consent, coercion, and bystander intervention, reporting options and responding to a survivor, and conclusion. Once you have completed the training, you will be able to see your completed trainings in your training dashboard. If you have technical questions about the SAPCC training module, please contact your college's Title IX lead. Their information is available on the Alamo Cares website. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, visit the Alamo Cares website.